Right friends, welcome back to UDAN. This is Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik. This is a regional connectivity scheme. This is as per new national civil aviation policy, and basically the purpose is to connect the remotest parts of the country through aviation sector. That means by giving viability gap funding. That means airlines will not normally come forward to operate aircrafts or helicopters to remote parts of the country. And now what the government will do? Government will give lot many facilities. At the same time, government will give viability gap funding also. Here, per 1 hour of journey, the fare is fixed at 2,500 rupees. If anyone wants to travel to remote parts of the country, that means unserved airports, underserved airports, if anyone wants to travel to those areas, now under this UDAN or regional connectivity scheme, the airfare will be charged at 2,500 rupees per 1 hour. And if the aircraft operator is spending rupees 4,000 per 1 hour journey, please listen carefully. Here the charges will be rupees 2,500 per 1 hour. If the actual expenses are rupees 4,000, then that 1,500 will be given by the government. And this 1,500 rupees is known as viability gap funding. So viability gap funding will be given by the government. Here central government will give maximum portion, state governments will give small amount, and state government will give more concessions also. This is all about the regional connectivity scheme or UDAN. UDAN means Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik. If you want more information, this scheme will be valid for 10 years. Basic purpose is to ensure affordability. Common man should be able to travel. As I have already told you, it will be rupees 2,500 for a distance of around 500 kilometers, and it is expected to lead to development of remote areas, enhance trade and commerce, and at the same time give boost to tourism. And here existing airstrips and airports at smaller places will be revived. And support from center and states. What support the center will give, what support the state will give, I have listed out here. Central government will provide concessions in the form of reduced excise duty, reduced service tax. And what is the role of state government? State governments have to provide security and fire services at free of cost, and they have to give electricity, water and other utilities at substantially concessional rates. And the state government will have to lower the value added tax on aviation turbine fuel to 1% or less. And airport operators shall not impose landing and parking charges and termination charges. And regional connectivity fund would be created to meet the requirements under viability gap funding, and the partner state governments would contribute 20% share to the fund, whereas the northeastern states and union territories will contribute 10%. So the balance will be contributed by the central government. So this is support from center and the states, and modalities for operation are given here. One is, it is a market-based model to develop regional connectivity. Here, any airline operator can give the proposal with regard to viability gap funding. After the proposal is received by the aviation authorities, then it will be offered for competitive bidding. And subsequently, the first right of refusal will be given to the operator who proposed it if his proposal is within 10% of lowest bid, and the successful bidder will have exclusive rights for a period of 3 years. And the selected airline operator has to provide a minimum of 9 and maximum of 40 UDAN seats on subsidized rates for operations through a fixed wing aircraft and a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 13 seats on the flights for operations through helicopters. So, the selected operator has to provide minimum of 9 seats, maximum of 140 at subsidized rates per each fixed wing aircraft, and at the same time minimum of 5, maximum of 13 seats if the operations are undertaken through helicopters. So, these many seats are to be provided under this regional connectivity scheme by the operator, and he will be selected based on competitive bidding, and whoever gives the proposal will be given first right of refusal if his offer is within 10% of the lowest bid. Right? So, these are the modalities for operation, and the minimum frequency would be 3 departures per week, maximum will be 7 departures per week. So, these are the modalities, and finally, what are the positive aspects? It is expected to give major boost to tourism, and somewhat employment will be generated in the hinterland, and travel time to remote and hilly regions of the country will be reduced substantially, and various officials, maybe government officials, public sector officials, can reach these remotest parts of the country within the shortest possible time, and trade and commerce is also expected to flourish in remote parts of the country, and overall it is expected to give big boost to the airline sector in the long run. And making air travel accessible to the middle class is very important, and it is likely to give a sense of upliftment in the rural hinterland. So these are the positive aspects. And if you look at the challenges or negative aspects, the first and the foremost is the success depends on the interest shown by the state governments, because many concessions, subsidies are to be provided by the state governments. Then only center and the airline operators will come into picture. And the second important aspect is, nowadays more and more airlines are flying in regional routes, and in 2016 air passenger traffic has grown by around 23%, and at present market dynamics model, that means the airline sector is driven by market dynamics, demand and supply, and if government is introducing subsidy element through viability gap funding, there is every possibility that it may vitiate the market dynamics. This is second most important point. Third important point is, it is basically cross subsidization. That means on select routes passengers will be charged, on busy corridors passengers will be charged, basically to generate regional connectivity fund, and it is nothing but cross subsidy, and it will give rise to increased airfares on busy routes. And another important aspect is, at present various charges and cess are as high as 37% of the ticket price on busy routes. Government is imposing several cesses as well as various charges are imposed, totaling to 37% of ticket price on busy routes and 17% on low density corridors, and these act as deterrent for air travel in our country. And without reducing these charges, there is no point in giving a subsidy to the unconnected, underconnected airports. What I mean to say is, if the government reduces these charges, automatically airline sector will flourish. Right? Only time can say how far this regional connectivity scheme would be successful to connect remote parts of the country. Right friends, we have discussed positive aspects, challenges, and frame your own opinion before commenting on any subject. Right friends, have a nice day. Thank you.